So Pedalheads was actually founded quite a long time ago. It was founded like 1996 by our amazing founder and CEO Claudia. It was actually originally called Atlantis, so it actually started off
Oh, cool.
as swim programs. But yeah, I mean, her whole goal was to try and put the fun and enjoyment back into the heart of the lessons and things like that, and putting kind of their growth as a priority. And then that led to kind of us like leading us to our kind of vision and our mission, which is to inspire kids to believe in themselves.
All right, welcome back everyone to another great episode of Let's Move Canada. We are your hosts, Dana and Luigi from the Canadian Health and Fitness Institute. And on today's episode of Let's Move Canada, we will talk with Pedalheads Greg Mack about the amazing work happening at his organization. So let me start by saying first that this podcast is brought to you by the Canadian Health and Fitness Institute, whose mission is to make Canada the fittest nation on earth by 2030. And of course, to this end, our podcast aims to raise awareness about physical and mental health. And of course, now it's time to introduce our wonderful guest. We're very excited to talk to Greg Mack today, who is the Facility and Business Assistant Manager at Pedalheads Bike Camps, Inc. Now, Pedalheads is a children's bike camp that focuses on teaching children how to ride bikes safely and confidently through fun, engaging, and a lot of programs. So since joining Pedalheads in July 2023, Gregory has been instrumental in managing business operations and facilities for the renowned children's bike camps. And with a passion for creating spaces like this for children and engaging them in these environments, Gregory ensures that every camp experience is seamless and enjoyable for both the leads and the kids and the parents. Now, let's dive into this journey and learn more about Pedalheads. Greg, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So, our first question, like always, is where did you grow up, and was physical activity and being active a big part of your childhood?
Yeah, so actually I was born and raised in Hong Kong actually.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I lived there until I was about 18, moved away to uni in the UK. And then I've been in Canada since about 2022. But yeah, for my childhood and things like that, physical activity was a massive part of my childhood and things like that. Quite funnily enough, my parents never really actually encouraged physical activity because in Hong Kong it was really more about academics and school and things like that.
Okay.
But luckily enough, me and my brother we were quite active kids growing up, and so every single sport that I could be a part of, I was a part of it. So yeah, I mean, I grew up playing like football, like soccer, growing up, and then dived into every sport I could get my hands on to be honest.
Well, that's
I
cool.
mean, yeah, I did cricket, basketball, like anything I could get my hands on. And then,
So you're a total
um,
athlete.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm keen, maybe not great, but keen for sure.
Okay, I gotta ask.
Um,
I gotta ask. I didn't know that you were from Hong Kong originally, so that you grew up
yeah.
there. So did they have like sport? I mean, what did they have for resources for activity for kids?
Well, so I like put a bit of context and background into it. So like I went to an international school, so and Hong Kong being a former British colony, so it was there's a lot of sports that are involved with schools, and especially my school. I mean, we really adopted that kind of British lifestyle, and so football
Mm.
and rugby and like netball and things like that were all such huge sports
And cricket?
in my school. And cricket, yeah, cricket for a little bit. I was awful at cricket, so I gave that up pretty quickly. But yeah, we have a lot of access to a lot of facilities and things like that. I mean, across Hong Kong, got the football club, football club, cricket club. So many clubs to be a part of, and so many of my friends were a part of teams too. I was mostly involved with school teams and things like that. But yeah, I can more speak about international schools, but the international schools are very well equipped with sports. I mean, we had that kind of house system like Harry Potter. So we all had our own individual houses and things like that. So that's
Oh,
how we
that's so
competed.
cool. Oh, now
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna,
So that's how we competed.
you wish you didn't tell me that. Now I'm so upset I didn't have that. No,
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
kidding.
it sounds so like it sounds very Hogwarts. I mean, I was House
That
Rutherford,
sounds
for
very
example. I
Hogwarts.
mean,
Oh, that's cool.
And then moving to England, right? And then
yeah,
thinking Harry Potter, and it just the journey just continues.
Yeah,
And
pretty much. I mean, it gets a lot more competitive in the UK for sure, but still,
Mm.
yeah, a lot of fun.
and I'm curious, since moving to Canada, and actually you and I moved to Canada the same year. I moved here in
Oh,
2022 as well.
nice. No way. That's
What
so
month,
cool.
what month did you move to Canada?
August. Yeah, mid-August.
August. Wow,
Yeah.
I moved on the last day of July. So
No way. So we pretty much at the
That's
same
so
time.
that's
funny.
That's
insane.
awesome.
That is insane. And
Yeah,
since
that's
moving
cool.
to Canada, have you participated in any sports?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, so me and my brother have been doing like Muay Thai and MMA since I was about 15. So the first club that I joined here, first gym I joined was the Lions MMA club here in Vancouver. So
Okay.
yeah, I joined that pretty much immediately since I got here. So that's the sport that I've really been focusing on, me and my friends. And then I also picked up snowboarding too when I got here as well. That was like the big thing on my bucket list. But yeah, MMA and Muay Thai is the thing that I've really been consistent with for sure.
Well, it sounds like you were involved in physical activity at somewhere. So I'm just curious to know, how did you become involved with Pedalheads?
Yeah, so when I actually first moved here, I saved up a bit of money from when I was working in Hong Kong and things like that. And so lived my life a little bit first, went snowboarding, took some snowboarding lessons and things like that. But then as I was job hunting, I came across Metalheads on I think it was probably LinkedIn or something like that. And then saw that they were like doing a lot of kids programs, bike swim and things like that. And I've been working with kids for quite a long time. I used to help coach my football team. I even volunteered at my gym here when I moved here. And I actually started off as a customer care associate. So I was on the back end, kind of doing their emails, their phone calls, helping families register and things like that. And then about a month or two into the job, I was granted the opportunity to interview for the assistant manager position. Um, Gracefully took it, 100% had to go for it. I wanted to stay with the company as long as I can. Because my contract was so short lived, it was only supposed to be for the summer, and I fell in love with Pedalheads the second I got in there. But yeah, and I just love the amount of impact they had on the community, and with a focus on children's learning and physical activity. It's like a huge thing for me. So definitely had to get involved, and I wanted to take it that step further, put my degree to use, and so yeah, here we are.
What did you get your degree in?
So actually, my degree was in international business management.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole goal growing up was to try and become into a more management leadership position. And
Mhm.
so when I was given that opportunity to assist, like, so I actually managed one of their pools. I had to take it for sure. I wanted to get way more involved. Because especially when I was hearing all this stuff on the back end, especially when I was like doing phone calls and things like that, when I hear
Right.
families saying like, "Oh, we love the program, we want to register for more," like, "Oh, my kiddo's afraid of swimming" or something like that. How do we get involved with this and how do we approach it? Like just hearing all this great feedback and also hearing these kiddos, you can even hear them in the background. It's really cute when you hear them kind of yelling in
Hmm.
the background, saying, like, "I want to go swimming." Like I had to see it for myself. So yeah, that's kind of how like my little timeline went through with that. So.
Okay, let's take a little step back and tell the audience what Pedalheads is.
Yeah,
So for anyone that doesn't know, I just found out of this organization and I think it's amazing what you are doing. So tell us what Pedalheads is, and how it's inspiring children to be more physically active.
yeah, for sure. So Pedalheads was actually founded quite a long time ago. It was founded like 1996 by our amazing founder and CEO Claudia. It was actually originally called Atlantis, so it actually started off
Oh, cool.
as swim programs. But yeah, I mean, her whole goal was to try and put the fun and enjoyment back into the heart of the lessons and things like that, and putting kind of their growth as a priority. And then that led to kind of us like leading us to our kind of vision and our mission, which is to inspire kids to believe in themselves. And that's at the heart of all our programs. We always want to celebrate those wins and let those kiddos believe that they can do it no matter how difficult. I mean, I come from a more biased standpoint where I see a lot of the swimming kind of stuff, and even me personally as a kid, swimming was very difficult for me to pick up. But yeah, we try and just allow them to we always try and put fun at the forefront of our thing. Of course, we want them to learn and we want them to progress as a swimmer and a biker and as a the physical kid. But yeah, we just want them to have fun, and hopefully that leads them to the next steps to keep going, keep progressing through the levels, and hopefully bring that to their community and to their friends and things like that too.
So could you tell us more about what programs that Pedalhead has and what exactly they offer, right? I mean, you mentioned swimming a little bit. What else
Yeah.
is there?
Yeah. So we focus primarily on three programs. So our bike, our trail, and our swim. So we actually offer about, I think it's over 250 plus like trail and bike programs across North America and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Our camps are like, we go from basically where they're starting off on balance bikes or training wheels and things like that, all the way up until they're riding on the road safely and efficiently. And then also in terms of the swim aspect, we have 8 pools across Metro Vancouver and Toronto. And then more specifically, I work at the West Vancouver location, so that's the one I manage. And then for the swim kids, we offer programs from about 4 months old and up.
4
And
months?
yeah,
Very
4
young.
months. So
4
our
months?
parent and
Oh
taught
my gosh.
programs, yeah, for sure.
Oh my
I
gosh,
mean,
that's so
they're
cool.
super keen on those. Those are quite funny. We get quite a lot of questions on like, how do you teach a 4-month-old?
Yeah.
The honest answer I give them is we don't really teach the 4-month-old. We teach the parent or the caregiver, whoever's in the pool with them. That's the people who's going to be learning the most of, like learning how to actually hold them
I mean,
and
that's
doing little
amazing because
floats and things like that.
it's
Cool.
probably takes the fear away, right? If you're at
Oh,
4 months, it
100%.
takes then you're used to it. You're not trying to get in there when you're, 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah, like if you already feel comfortable getting in the water, blowing some bubbles, doing like a couple floats maybe or something like that, when by the time you're 3 years old, you should be having no problems heading into the water.
Right. So my mom's gonna hate that I'm sharing this story, but her whole family cannot swim. Like my mom's probably the worst out of the 5 siblings. I think the other ones maybe can swim a bit, but she cannot swim at all. She's terrified of the water. And she went to an adult swimming class called Scaredy Cats. and it was like she like toughed it out for a few, and then by the time it got to where you have to put your head under the water, she was like, I'm out. I can't do this.
Yeah. Oh, that's always a big barrier, no matter what age you are. That's the biggest barrier for sure.
Right. So but then if you're like 4 months old or something, you don't even know. You don't even know what's happening, right? It's just
Exactly.
you're getting so acclimatized so early on. That's so great. I think, and it's so much safer, right? Because it's so dangerous to
100%.
not know how to swim.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these are like life skills, like everyone should know how to swim. And I mean, I can also relate. My mom doesn't know how to swim either, and neither does my auntie. So I mean, even I remember like a few summers ago, I was trying to teach her how to swim and things like that. But yeah, getting her head underwater, blowing bubbles and things like that doesn't stop if you're 4 months old or however old you are. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny that So I think it's probably more common. I mean, they obviously have classes for adults that don't swim, so it's pretty common, but just getting kids active at a really young age, I mean, whether it's 4 months or whether it's 4, right, is really important. And where are these classes offered? Like, where does it span, Pedalheads?
So, oh man, I mean, so we're here in Vancouver. This is where it was founded and things like that. And like I said, we got a pool in Toronto and things like that. But most states in the US as well. I mean, we got places in Texas, we got them around on the East Coast, West Coast, like they're literally everywhere. I wouldn't even be able to start listing all of them. And that was actually honestly pretty difficult for me when I started off as a customer care associate, because I'd be getting calls in from like I say Texas or something like that. They're like, I need something in my area, and I'm trying to look up their postcode and things like that. I'm just like, yeah, sure, it's here, I guess. But yeah, so many locations, like 250 plus, and we're constantly growing. So
wow,
yeah, it's really awesome.
Amazing. And are you at a point yet where you get to travel to go see some of these other locations where Pedalheads is?
Not yet. I would absolutely love to. I mean, I'm hoping to one day maybe go to the Toronto location for sure and see see the pool there and things like that. I think that'd be awesome. I haven't visited Toronto yet, so I actually haven't really visited much of Canada either. So not yet. It's definitely on the cards for the future for sure, but something to look forward to.
It's funny you say that, because I'm in the exact same boat where there's Toronto I've gone to Montreal for just 3 days, and at some
Yeah.
point I should go back. But other than that, it's I don't know why that happens, but it's I haven't been anywhere either, right? So,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah. I mean, if you're ever in Vancouver,
right,
you can contact me. I'll show you around the pool of the office, some of
right.
our locations for sure. I think it'll be really cool.
Oh,
Of
definitely.
course,
I
I
want
guess
to see that too.
right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you talked a lot about the services that are offered, and just how much it impacts so many different age groups, starting at 4 months old, going to even older, right? So I'm very curious if you could tell us about the impact that um Pedalheads has been having on Canada, if you know, right? Like, so how are a lot of kids learning how to swim? Does it make changes in families' life? I mean, we talked a little bit about decreasing that fear, right? Right, and
Mhm.
helping people gain confidence. So what are some of the bigger impacts that you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, well, like Dana mentioned earlier, like swimming's a life skill. Like
Mhm.
you should have it. You need it. It not only opens up so many opportunities for fun and things like that, but it keeps you safe. I mean, especially here in Vancouver, right on the coast, surrounded by a ton of water and things like that. But yeah, I mean, we like our whole focus is to try and bring these lifelong skills to these kiddos and things like that. And been doing it for over 35 years. I mean, me personally, not 35 years,
Hmm.
but yeah, we want them to feel like they're safe and bring that kind of enjoyment to their communities and things like that. And so, I mean, you have no idea how many kids we have coming through the doors that have never swam before, and now they're swimming for their clubs, or they're doing competitive
Wow.
swimming, or they're taking on new stuff, like they want to go scuba diving and things like that. And then you have kiddos who never ridden a bike, but they've been super afraid of it. Now they're biking to school and things like that. And for us, it's the impact on the families for sure. I mean, you have no idea how many families come up to us and say like, "Hey, we have a pool at home, or we're going to the beach for a holiday, or something like that," and we're scared. We're scared that they might get hurt, they might get swept away, or something like that. And
Mhm.
so, well, I mean, although yeah, we want to bring the fun and things like this to the kiddos. I mean, we want to keep them safe at the end of the day, and that's also our responsibility. And so hearing that kind of feedback from the family saying like, oh, they never even wanted to put their head underwater, and now they're back crawling into the sea and things like that. So
Yeah.
um, that's the kind of impact that we have. We want families to feel safe and enjoy the time that they have. It means going on a bike ride. It means going downhill biking from our trail programs, or going for a swim in the ocean, or going on a boat trip. That's something that we want to provide, and that's the impact that we want to have on these families for sure.
And I love also how it instills skills that are going to lead to a healthier life, right? You're going to
Yeah.
be healthier in the long run because now you know how to bike and you're going to enjoy biking instead of driving maybe or swimming, right? Which swimming just is such a physical it's a physical workout, right? So
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Muscle.
I mean, like it's just for us, it's like the whole winning aspect and things like that. It's just it's a lot for kiddos, but like you said, swimming is so difficult. When we get those moments where it finally clicks and it makes sense to them, or their side glide is finally making sense, we want to like bring that mindset to other things that apply to their lives, whether how difficult, whatever they're trying to learn, whether it's school or another hobby or another sport. Like we want them to realize that it's digestible, it can be fun, or you can break it down into steps, and we want them to take that away into whatever they're doing in their lives. And that's
Right.
how we encourage them to just be more physically active in general.
Yeah. That's so great.
I'm curious to know if there are, you talked a little bit about the programs that you guys have. Are there any new programs in the horizon? Like I'm curious to know if there's any new directions, any new activities
Ah,
to include.
okay. I'm not sure if my marketing team will quite agree with me saying this kind of stuff, but for personally for our site, we're trying to push a little bit more. So for example, our site, we're trying to come up with a bit of a pitch to maybe introduce some adult lessons too. So that may be on the horizon. I can't promise anything, but me and my team are very committed to trying to bring those, because we do have parents that come in and bring their kiddos that can't swim, and they go, "Do you have adult lessons for me? I can't swim either."
Oh,
Right,
that's
right, right.
So
cool.
that, yeah, so that's
Yeah.
something hopefully in the future. It's going to take quite a lot more planning and things like that, but yeah, working hard towards it for
We
sure.
can send our moms there.
100%. Like I am booking my mom the next flight over.
Day
She's
one.
learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Me too. Oh my gosh, that's
Mama
funny.
Mack.
Can you tell us what Pedalheads Plus is?
Yeah, oh for sure. So Pedalheads Plus is like our we essentially bring our camps to underserved communities that unfortunately just don't have the opportunities to be able to afford those camps and things like that. So we actually completely provide our bike camps to those communities. So we actually get them new bikes, new helmets, water bottles,
Whoa.
t-shirts, snacks. We provide everything that they need to make sure that they have an enjoyable and fun, safe time with us. And then we also hire within those communities. So we hire camp managers, we hire instructors from those
Oh, that's so
communities
cool.
to bring that forward and things like that. And Pedalheads Plus, the amazing team that we have working on it right now, they're just working way more on making sure we can bring it to as many communities as possible. We're all trying to get involved with it. We've recently just kind of started this Pedalheads Day, where every Wednesday we're really trying to push for some more donations and things like that. So yeah, all the money that we get donated, they all go to new equipment, to staffing, to bringing those to those communities.
That is amazing. Do those camps, sorry, Luigi, sorry, 1 second. Do those camps run all year long? Or is it like once a year?
So
okay.
Oh, wow.
no, I'm not entirely sure in terms of the scheduling and things like that, but we try and run as much as we can for sure. So yeah, that's why every time we get families registered, there's an option to donate to the program, and so we use all that money towards those camps, and so we just kind of donation dependent, non-profit. Obviously, we use all that money towards those camps for sure.
Amazing, amazing. And with those communities that you mentioned, are these communities that are in Ontario and in BC or what?
Yeah. So it's not bound to any location whatsoever. We've run it across NA. It's not just specific to, let's say, Vancouver, where we're kind of headquartered. But no, yeah, we bring it to any community that we think we can run a fantastic program where we can reach as many people as we can. So yeah, no, not bound and absolutely limitless. So I mean, we also love hearing suggestions from families too, where they're just like, "Oh, I used to grow up in this community," or I've got family there and things like that. So yeah, no limit whatsoever.
Oh well, that is very cool. I want to know more.
Right.
Yeah, I want to be involved. It sounds like such a good cause, such a physical activity, and then all of it. It's got everything.
Yeah, we love it. We're always looking for like volunteers and things like that too. So whenever we do kind of launch those areas, like you'll hear about it for sure. So if anyone wants to get involved, you can 100% get involved.
And let us know too, so we can promote it too. We want for sure.
Oh yeah, we would have to. I think after this, we'll definitely send over some like details and things like that, and I'll get you in touch with my pretty much the Pedalheads coordinator. So
sure. Okay, amazing.
Well, this is great. And I think we have one more question for you before we wrap everything up, and that is, and we ask this to everyone. So and it is, what would you like to see Canada focus on more when it comes to health and wellness?
Well, yeah, I mean, we just want to focus just on general activity, just any kind of physical activity. It's not just bound to trail, bike, or swimming or anything like that. We just want to see people get out there and enjoy working out or going for a walk, going for a ride or something like that. And we want to support those programs too, where they do promote that kind of physical activity and things like that. And so that's why, I mean, for us in particular, the reason why it's so good that we focus on kids is we're inspiring the next generation, hopefully. I mean, we have a bunch of kiddos now that who are Pedalheads kids, and now they're instructors with us, or now they're working with the company, and I mean, we even had some parents that like used to be swim instructors and things like that, and they're like, I want my kids involved with Pedalheads. And so yeah, we just want to inspire everyone to just get out there, no matter how little or how much you're doing, just go ahead and do it. I mean, you're going to reap so many benefits, not only your physical health, but I mean, your mental health. I mean, that's what keeps me sane, to be honest. I have to be outside and doing some things. So, yeah, I just, whatever it is, go out and do it for sure.
Makes perfect sense. Well, thank you. We want to thank you so much for coming on here today and sharing not only a little bit about yourself, but about the great work that is happening at Pedalheads. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
so
having me on.
love it.
It was so amazing to have this conversation with you.
Of course, thank you. Awesome. And we want to thank everyone who tuned in today for this episode. Again, we are your hosts, Dana and Luigi. And if you want to learn more about what is happening at Pedalheads, please feel free to visit their IG page at Pedalheads. That is one word together. Or you can visit their website at pedalheads.com. And of course, don't hesitate to visit us at Let's Move Canada on Instagram for latest updates. Or if you want to see someone on our on our podcast, you can just let us know, DM us if you have any questions. If you want to get connected with Greg, we could make that happen as well. And stay tuned for next episode announcements and for other updates. Really, really great having all of you here, and see you next time.